All right, good morning from San Diego. So today we're going to be talking about your first 6 months of recruiting, what to expect, what's it all about, is it worth it, is it fun? And this was actually a video submitted to me. Somebody was asking in the comments if I could make something like this. And if this is your first time to the channel, welcome. If you've never heard of me, that's fine. But the entire thing is, I've been in the recruitment industry for about 8 years. I think 10 years, actually. I'll have to double check. But I've worked in some of the largest recruiting firms in the world. I've worked in international ones. I've worked in the largest one in the world. And I've done internal recruiting. And I've also had my own recruiting agency. So I've done everything from start to finish. And funny enough, yeah, kind of working with a few different clients right now, both in cybersecurity and tech mostly. But I also have a few different clients in kind of the sales arena as well as education. So recruiting for a few different things right now, different clients. I've built teams, I've trained recruiters, I've done it all. And so somebody was asking about first 6 months, what to expect, what's there. And we're going to cover a few different things. Should you do agency? Should you be an internal recruiter? Should you start a business? Should you work for somebody first? How do you do lead generation? And yeah, just to break down today, as always, I'm usually always drinking something, usually coffee, coffee or water. Try to be healthy. But we're going to talk a little bit about my recommendation, lead generation, how to find clients, how to make your first money, skill sets needed, and also how do you make it go faster? Some things that I've picked up, some things that could help you out as well. So first and foremost, what is the reality of your first 6 months of recruiting? And if you're going kind of the agency route, if you go through an agency, you are going to be at first and foremost learning the industry. So first 3 months, you're going to be learning the people in your company. You're going to be learning the industry that you're recruiting for. And this is kind of going into anything. If you go into an agency, it's usually subsections. Some work primarily recruiting in like the finance industry or the tech industry or the real estate industry, or IT or some other type of industry. And the reason is because you're going to start building a book of business. You're going to start meeting a lot of candidates that fit a certain niche. You're going to be looking at clients that are also in the same thing. And ideally, you're kind of mixing and matching. You're finding candidates that are not just for one client, but are actually can go to a few different ones, right? Same thing. And there's basically kind of two areas there. You find kind of people that are specific to those skill sets. So let's say for tech, for example, I work in tech and I'm always looking for software developers, Salesforce consultants, cybersecurity engineers, and those can go to multiple different clients. And it depends on the client's needs. They're not always hiring for everybody at the same time. Now, those are kind of your bread and butter. You're looking for a specific skill set. Your second thing, though, is also looking for people for your back office. Now, back office means every company needs. Every company needs these people: IT people, HR people, finance people, marketing people, sales people, office administrators, office managers, project managers, things that every company will need to have at one point in time. So you want to have a good blend of both in those portfolio. And you're wanting to have a lot of your time is going to be spent lead generation. Your first 3 months are going to be more specific on candidates, finding candidates, how to source candidates. Sourcing means basically just finding them in your industry, getting their contact information, and having an interview. That's kind of what sourcing is. And you're really learning the lingo. You want to make sure that you're speaking the same language as the people that you're interviewing, that they know what you're talking about. And also so you can kind of translate it. There's going to be a lot of certain certifications. There's going to be certain skill sets. There's going to be certain industry jargon that they're going to use that you want to pick up on. And you have to make sure that you know your client's needs. You got to know what they really want and be able to kind of transmit that to the candidate, so that they have an understanding and they're excited about the job as well. Now, I would first and foremost, if you're looking at different industries, if you go into an agency, you're not really going to have a choice. You can have a preference on which industry, but usually they're going to assign you to a certain industry. And just rule of thumb, I would look at making sure it's an industry that you either know or you're excited about, or you know is going to be on the move in the future. Okay, one of those subsections. And for candidates, you're really looking at people not always entry level, not always very senior. You're looking for somebody really in the middle there. So your first 3 months, you're sourcing leads, you're sourcing candidates, you're learning the information, and you want to be able to do and find good lead generation for candidates. You can use LinkedIn, which is very common. You can use job boards, which is really, really common. You can use your own personal network. There's a bunch of different things, and I do have more advanced methods that people use. If you want, you'll have to message me about that. That's usually a private thing that I teach. But then after those 3 months, you're going to start getting a pool, and maybe you'll get a few placements. There might be somebody else on your team that has clients that you want to do. But the second 3 months, that's when you start doing lead generation on clients. You're finding new clients within the industry that you're kind of like your subsection. So that's really kind of what a recruiter is. You're brokering agreements, you're hiring and you're staffing for clients, but you got to find the leads first and the candidates first. So lead generation on clients is much more important, and it's much more it's harder. It's easy to find a lot of candidates, it's harder to find clients. So you want to make sure you have specific sourcing methods for clients as well. The most common one is job ads, meaning that actually you see somebody who's advertising on a job ad, you give them a call. You call their CEO or the department head or the HR manager. Hi, I'm Ryan. I saw that you guys are looking for a software developer. I would love to be able to help. I actually have 3 candidates right now with these skill sets. Would love to be able to talk to you a little bit. Do you have maybe like 10 minutes real quick? Perfect. Awesome. Love to talk to you a little bit about that. And then I'll send over blind resumes. Blind resumes is a resume without the contact information and with certain things that you've taken out of the resume, so they can't kind of like look on LinkedIn and find that person and then contact them, and then you can't kind of collect your fee. So recruiting has really, really skyrocketed in the last year and 2 years, especially because of COVID and shutdowns, and people are looking for people. And so recruiters are right now in high demand. Staffing's all across the board. Everybody's needing people, but there's also a lot of competition. There's a lot more new recruiters in the marketplace. So you got to think outside the box. You got to find new alternative methods. If you're doing what everybody else is doing, it's going to be a little harder. It's not impossible, but a lot harder. So you got to find a few different methods. Now, how do you find clients? So we talked about job ads. You can just call directly to the job ads. That's when you're training at an agency, that's the first thing you're going to be doing, guys. Now you can use LinkedIn. That's another method. There's more senior there are a few little tricks to the trade there. If you want those, again, you're gonna have to message me on them, because those are like kind of my personal secret sauce. But yeah, a lot of people think that you need to be finding clients all the time, and I don't think that's the way. I would rather have a client that is growing, that is constantly going to be giving me job orders every single month. Okay, that you're now going to become their personal recruiter, personal HR. So there is a sweet spot with a growing company. And I teach this all in my my own kind of like personal training. If you want to do a booking, a one-on-one, message me about that. We can kind of arrange that time. But you want to be with a company that's usually between 1 to 50 people, that's growing, that's doing consistent growth, that is also over 2 to 5 years old. 2 to 5 years is really going to be the area a company is either going to make it or break it, okay? Because 80% fail in the first year, 90% fail in the second year. You want to be past that, and you want to be in the probability of those that have already made the hump, and they're growing. And you just want to keep adding value to them and adding good people to them. So a lot of my clients actually are not huge businesses. They're smaller businesses that are constantly growing at a steady rate, which is great. And it means that I don't have to spend as much time doing lead generation on clients. Okay, it means that they're just constantly giving me orders on who they need, on who they want, but also you're a consultant, okay? You're giving recommendations and solutions to this. And this is very, very important to a lot of people, is that you act with education and understanding. And sales is a little bit of recruiting is a little bit of everything. It's sales, it's marketing, it's business development. But a lot of it is also as an educator, and you have to educate your clients on what they want, but also what they need. Okay. Now, what's an example of this? What I'm talking about? You meet a new. I talked to the other guy the other day. He wanted to find a certain type of person, a certain type of salesperson, and you need to educate them on what are the realities of the business. Okay, realities as in, here's what I'm seeing in the marketplace, here's the salary ranges that I'm seeing, here's the likelihood that it's going to be closing, likelihood we're going to be able to fill that position, and some of like managing expectations on a timeline. One of my first clients, I remember they thought I was going to get people in the door the next day. And I had to tell them, like, no, this is going to be a process of a few weeks because we have to start finding people. This is starting from scratch, right? And then usually those people have to give a 2 weeks notice. I mean, ideally, not all the time, but ideally. And so you have to manage expectations and you have to be an educator and consultant to your clients that way. Now, if I were to give you some metrics, right, you want to be conducting multiple interviews, maybe 3 to 4 interviews with candidates, new, good, solid sourced candidates that are not going to waste your time, right, that are looking right now. Clients, I would have maybe 2 or 3, and that's it. That's really all you need. Some people have 20, and if you want to build a big team and do that, that's okay too. But you want to have 2 or 3 clients that are really growing, and then you're just kind of churning that over, and you're helping build those businesses from the inside out. So if you guys have seen my videos, I'm a little bit more passionate about this because this is what I do for a living. It's one of my things I enjoy, helping other businesses grow, and also helping people get jobs that they want to do. Now, making your first money. This is kind of where it is. I should mention, like, making your first money, it's a handful. Now, if you're new to this area, there's things called fee agreements. There's new kind of templates coming out with this. If you want free templates, feel free to message me. I don't mind giving away those for free. But you want templates that do either a temporary or a permanent placement, okay? And these are just kind of general rules, but there's actually a lot of different ones. Permanent placement means you're just placing that person, and that's usually what I do. I just do it like I place the person, they're hired, they're with that person full time. Temporary means you're actually the employer of that person and you're renting them out. That's why it's called a temp agency. You're renting out that person, renting out their skills and their time to another company. And it's only temporary. It's only usually like 30, 60, 90 days. Permanent placement, you're really just an outside recruiter. I've done both, but I primarily do permanent placement. So you want to make sure you have a fee agreement. Fee agreement means you get paid a certain percentage of that person's first year salary. So if I'm doing permanent placement on a salesperson that makes 80K, the fee agreement, if I have it at 10%, 50%, or 20%, if you can do the math, yeah, you can make about 8K to 16K per placement that way. That's one method that you can do. There's a lot of methods. You can do a monthly subscription on a retainer. That's something I've done before, where you're just getting paid, and if the needs come up, you can add a commission on top of that. There's different methods you can do. You don't need to worry about how to make your first money. The biggest thing, though, you will make money, but you need to have your clients first. That's the number one thing, finding clients and being able to fulfill that. So I would say if you're just starting off, get to 100 candidates first. Get to 100 interviews over the next 90 days. So you're talking about the first 6 months. First 90 days, get to 100 interviews of candidates. Learn the lingo, learn the jargon, learn everything you can, and also how to conduct really good interviews. Second 90 days, focus on clients, developing clients, know their competition, know the sizes of the companies, know who they're usually hiring for, but also who they'll need. That's also a huge one. Now, and if you just follow that formula, you will make money, okay? What is the timeline? It's probably gonna honestly take you 6 months for that first sale. It really is. My first placement, mine was a little bit different because it was in Japan, in Japanese actually. I had to speak Japanese in order to do these placements. And I worked in the healthcare industry. And I think my first placement was 9 months. Now it was a pretty big one, covered my entire salary that year, but it still took me 9 months of developing relationships, talking to candidates, learning Japanese healthcare randomly, and getting clients. And I had to find clients very uniquely because everybody was on LinkedIn. You can still get clients off LinkedIn. I'm just saying that it's a big competitive marketplace. You might want to look for alternatives. I didn't use LinkedIn. I used something alternative as a sourcing method. Got my first client, was able to place. Yeah, it's bringing back memories. And yeah, that was a great time. But for the average person, I would say give yourself 6 months before making that first placement. If you do it sooner, awesome. I would love, please message me. I would love to hear your success story. Now, skill sets needed. What are the skill sets needed? Now, you're going to want to have to be organized. Now, this is honestly my weakest link, and I own up to that. Using an ATS or an applicant tracking system to stay organized is very key. Every morning, I write down my list of to-dos, who I need to contact, and also who are my top superstars. Who are the big people that I know are going to be like every company's going to want to have them. I write their names down. Okay? You want to make sure that you are honing your public speaking and your sales skills. Sales is number one skill set, I believe, that everybody needs to have. And no matter who you are in one industry, if you have sales skills, you're going to go farther. Okay? You're going to have to start learning sales skills. There's a great book on how I raised myself from failure to success through selling by Frank Bedker. Great book, great starting book. Another book, how 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Another great book. But you want to stay organized. You want to have sales skills, okay? And you really want to make sure that you have this sense of urgency. And this is the big difference between if you're working at an agency, if you're starting off an internal, you're gonna miss the sense of urgency required to run an agency. When I was in an agency, it was like Wolf of Wall Street style, okay? I got really good at a small set of skills before starting teaching other ones. Now, I have noticed that with internal recruiters, they don't have that as much. You're kind of doing everything all at once. So it's the same idea as specialist versus generalist. If you go inside an agency, you're going to be doing the same thing over and over. It can get very dull, but you're going to get really good at it. If you go into internal recruiter right off the bat, you're going to learn a lot of different things, okay? You're going to learn a lot. And usually it can be very, it's more safer. It's a safer bet salary-wise. But be aware of that you're going to be spreading yourself more thinner, and you're going to get good over time. Okay, so just keep those things in consideration. Now, how do I make it go faster? How do I get more sales? How do I get more clients? And if you guys, if this is new to you, if you have not seen my YouTube channel, definitely check out my review of what's called TECHNOTUTOR. Now, why the heck am I talking about this? Because this is the number one tool that I've used to double my sales, double my income in the last year. And it looks like it's going to double again next year because of this. What it does is a specialized software that actually removes limiting beliefs and self-sabotaging behavior. Okay, I've gotten new clients because of it. I've got new candidates from it. I've got some big clients from it, actually. But I would really recommend it. You're not going to hear about this anywhere else. I posted a video maybe 3 weeks ago on my 1-year review and my results. And I really recommend taking a look at that video because I break it down fully. It really does itself. And what it will do is it's going to take also, if you're learning about an industry, you want to take all those words, all the key terms, and put them into TECHNOTUTOR. It moves everything from your conscious mind to your subconscious mind. Okay, so you don't have to spend weeks on learning this. You can learn it over a few hours. It's going to really drastically improve. Other people have used it honestly for learning languages. But for sales also, same thing. Put down sales things, recruiting terms, affirmations, put them in TECHNOTUTOR. It's then going to run in your subconscious on autopilot. It's going to make your life a lot easier. You're going to learn a lot faster. And if you want my honest thing, how can you make your first sale way faster in 6 months? Do what I just talked about. Learn sales skills, find lead generation on candidates, find lead generation on clients, but also use TECHNOTUTOR, and you will get results really, really fast. If you don't, if you want some more information, check out, you can feel free to message me. I don't mind talking about it, and we can talk about kind of specifics. If you need to find out what pricing is, or just want to have a one-on-one about it, that's fine. Also check out the video where I break down exactly what it is and how to use it best. Anyway, big passion about recruiting. I've been a recruiter forever. I will let you guys, so by the way, if you guys don't know, I don't know if I should say it on the, on the camera. Depends on who's watching, but yeah, I've gotten some amazing opportunities that have come my way in the last 2 weeks in recruiting and working with some amazing clients that I'm very, very excited about that I'm going to be building the systems and doing some hiring for. And then, by the way, we are recruiting right now consistently. If you are looking for a recruiter position, feel free to message me. Right now, I'm looking for additional recruiters for our team. We pay about $1,000 commission. Right? There's some people that make, and you can do this on the side if you want to. That's okay. But it's one of those things where it is dedicated time. We are looking for salespeople. We are looking also if you're looking at this and you're somehow in tech, cybersecurity, or software, or any other industry, feel free to send me your resume. I can definitely give a look at it, give you my review, how it looks, and some small recommendations. There's a few people that messaged me thinking that it was going to be this like 5-hour review. My time's too precious. I don't do that, but I will help you. I will definitely try to help as much as I can and give you some tidbits and tips on where to go and what to look for. Feel free to reach out to me. There's a few people that have reached out to me both for TECHNOTUTOR as well as just for like a general consulting, law of attraction, MBA stuff, and I love it. We've had some great conversations, and I think a few of you are going to be some lifelong friends, so I'm really looking forward to it. If you watch this video, feel free to reach out to me. Love recruiting. Remember, it is a thing that you're going to learn a lot of skills by doing if you do it right, and you will add value to people's lives. You're helping companies build themselves, and you're helping people find good jobs. So you got to believe in what you're doing. All right, guys, well, take care. Chat with you soon. Cheers.